This presentation is migrating from Microsoft Dynamics AX 2009 to Microsoft Dynamics 365 for Finance and Operations. Many companies today face the issue of migrating from one platform to another, more advanced one. In this case, Microsoft has transformed the platform, now on the cloud or on-premise, to a complete renormalization of the database structure and related tables. Hello, my name is John Wade. I am a Senior Solution Architect with Synoptek. I am here today to present the migration from Microsoft Dynamics AX 2009 to Microsoft Dynamics 365 for Finance and Operations. Our agenda today is as follows: reasons to migrate, defining your scope, execution, where to start, developing in Dynamics 365 for Finance and Operations versus Microsoft Dynamics AX 2009 or Microsoft Dynamics AX 2012, business intelligence strategy, configurations, data migration, testing strategy and mock cutover, going live, and professional tips. Our first point on the agenda is reasons to migrate. The following reasons are reasons to migrate: reduced infrastructure cost and leverage all the benefits of the cloud, new features and functionality including embedded business intelligence and availability of mobile devices, minimum upfront investment by only paying monthly subscription fees, reduced customization by up to 40%, get the stability and security of Microsoft Azure and out-of-the-box high availability and disaster recovery, get actionable insights and drive business results, enjoy scalability and growth at your own pace, be sure to constantly receive updated features and functionality, enable greater productivity and build optimal outcomes, get the stability and security of Azure in addition to built-in intelligence and advanced analytics, enjoy industry and role-specific extensions and app source, and finally leverage the capabilities of Power Apps and Flow and build custom business workflows. Now we move on to defining your scope. Be realistic. The implementation partner you choose and your budget will determine how many pain points you will solve. Set clear goals, identify and prioritize major customizations, engage any existing ISV provider from the start. Your current operations will be different, so you have to plan for that. Business models of those legal entities will have to be defined and clearly communicated. Amount of change that needs to be brought into the future implementation. All of these things will have to be realistic and communicated to the VAR. The second point is to treat this as delicately as you would a first-time implementation, but with a wise, experienced AX user base. We can see from this screen the different steps or phases of the product implementation: plan, analyze, design, development, test, deployment, and support. Perform a full discovery to understand the current implementation. Identify and document your pain areas. document standard in-scope functionality of the new platform, learn how functionality has changed or improved, prepare a gap analysis and document gaps and set expectations. Recognize prior customizations and don't assume custom functionality is in the new version. It may not be. Consider revising your current business processes to take advantage of the new technology. Consider incorporating new Microsoft tools such as Flow and Power Apps. Avoid paving a cow path. Consider how you can integrate new features or revitalize your business. Key integration tools include Power BI, Microsoft Flow, Power Apps, Common Data Model or Service, and Internet of Things. New dynamic features include distributed order management, warehouse management and transportation management, financial dimension sets and rules, retail, MPOS, and cloud POS. Research how new features can help you. New features make some customizations obsolete. Financial dimensions, financial dimension sets, account structure rules, warehouse management, transportation management, organizational hierarchy, distributed order management, retail, and mobile framework. Research how new features can help you. Some features and tools include, in Lifecycle Services, the Business Process Modeler, Manage Incidents, Manage Methodology, Organization Users, Preview Future Management, Shared Asset Library, and Solution Management. Next is executing the plan. Where to start? Complete administrative tasks to get to Microsoft Tenant ID, included with your licensing. First, acquire licenses, which includes your subscription to the tenant. Onboard with Microsoft, your Microsoft Tenant ID, Azure Active Directory, dev and staging environments, the database, the apps, the virtual machines, load balancers, and app services. Two environments are available to you right away, the development environment and the staging environment. Choose the project lifecycle model that works best for your project. Microsoft Fast Track, create project lifecycle services, assign users, establish your Visual Studio Team Services instance, set up your first two environments, development and staging UAT. Instead of 3 environments, lease a 4th. Keep 4th until a couple of weeks after go live. Dev, staging, gold, and prod. Prod build is final stage. Create an environment plan, gold standard instance, partner only access. Please note the table below and you can see what these various environments reveal and their usage. Incorporate Visual Studio Team Services as you engage. This gives you software version control, project management, requirements matrix, change management, workflow, discussion, document management, and can accommodate 4 different project types: Agile, Scrum, Capability Maturity Model, Integration, or Waterfall. In this section, we will discuss developing Dynamics 365 Unified Operations versus earlier versions. Some things that have changed: data structure, role centers, product framework, financial dimension framework. As you can see from the table above, we have AX2009 versus Dynamics 365 for finance and operations. Item product data management framework is different. Organizational hierarchy is different. Financial dimension structure is different. And database accessibility is different. In the next table, we see that the difference between Microsoft Dynamics AX 2012 and Microsoft Dynamics 365 for finance and operations include security management framework and database accessibility. Train your developers on these key differences. In the table on your left, we see Dynamics AX 2009 and 2012, which accommodates MorphX, X++, has an AOT, a model store database, AX32.exe, XPO packages, project, application lifecycle model, and class override. Whereas in Dynamics 365 for finance and operations, we have Visual Studios 2015, which can accommodate X++, as well as C# and LinkQ. Application Explorer, File System on local IIS or Azure, Web Application, Package, Visual Studio Project and Project Template, Application Lifecycle Model, Extended Data Types. A good question is, can I reuse my legacy modifications? Capturing all existing customization and prioritize importance. Use the Visual Studio Team services for source control and tracking requirements. No code was reused or migrated. You can review and study the logic, not directly usable. Visual Studio IDE is completely different from MorphX. Form structures are completely different. Table structures are completely different. And the events are completely different. Next, we will discuss determining your BI strategy. For business intelligence, we want to identify your reports and prioritize, identify the data required for each report. Your current reports will be different. Your options in this new environment are Power BI, SSRS, Azure SQL Server custom reports. Consider your BI strategy from inception. Create new data entities in Visual Studio. Create a custom entity in D365. Schedule entity for regular update or full sync, full push, to an external database. If a create, update, delete was done, this was relayed to the other database. Full push is not always recommended. However, incremental push is recommended when records are changed. Publishing new entities to external databases. Create new data entities in Visual Studio and custom entity in D365. Schedule entity for regular updates or full sync, full push, to an external database. If create, update, delete was done, this was relayed. Create a custom entity in D365 to the other database. Full push is not always recommended. However, incremental push is recommended when records are changed. Next is configurations. We have to configure the new environment. Test configurations in UAT staging environment. Build gold standard configurations in the gold environment. No transactions will exist in gold environment. Build data packages. Upload the data packages to Lifecycle Services. Remember peripheral devices, printer configurations, document route agent configuration, and handheld devices. Next, we will discuss data migration. The diagram you see in front of you is a high-level data migration process. We see the data migration framework, service, export to files or preprocess to the 2009 database. We see the create package and import into Dynamics 365 by using the data migration tool. Examine model differences and build and test the data entities. Issues faced. Data templates were not pre-built. Data was not in correct format. Old to new part numbers created a cross-reference table. Global address book data did not match expected format. For example, Ohio provided and D365 expected OH. Steps required to input data. Follow an exact sequence to adhere to foreign primary key relationships. First, define the parent-child relationship between the entities. For accounts payable, if you want to upload vendor group and payment terms, for sales order header must be loaded before the sales lines because of the dependent master record. Only open transactions. You cannot upload lines that are in invoice status. You may create or upload open lines and manually set purchase order line status to delivered in 365, and then next upload the invoice line. The system will automatically update the line by itself. Data packages were used for all master data. Next, we will discuss solution testing and mock go live. This session deals with solution testing with security roles. Avoid using system administration account for testing. GDPR, security and privacy. See the Microsoft D365 GDPR resource page. Use the Compliance Manager. Compliance Manager is now available for Dynamics 365 at the link below. Consider a bulleted cost-benefit analysis. For the mock cutover, define a detailed cutover plan. A few weeks before go live, have a full dress rehearsal, treat it like the real thing, war room covered staffing plan, detailed steps pre, during, and post go live, assign clear ownership of each task, specify and adhere to the dates and times, communicate with all team members. Identify, document, and resolve all issues. This next section is going live. On the screen before you, you see steps 1 through 9. They are update go live date and LCS, lifecycle services, complete and send pre-go live checklist, go live assessment or workshop. Next, between 3 and 4 is the fast track architect review provided by Microsoft. 4, release for production deployment. 5 is request production deployment from Microsoft, and the following things occur: sizing and deployment. 6, submit a deployable package installation request, install, and then 7, submit request to copy database from Sandbox. Complete the copy. Step 8 is production ready. Finalize the cutover, and then the 9th step is to go live. These 4 steps are essential. Review your go live checklist with Microsoft, the fast track team. Usage profile must be submitted and reviewed by Microsoft. Deployable packages must be submitted and approved by Microsoft prior to the go live. Data packages versus SQL Server refresh. All of this is done in conjunction with. So for the go live, all issues identified in mock are resolved or mitigated. Establish a cutover plan and stick to it. Confirm your go live date with Microsoft. Ensure Microsoft staff available at the planned date and time. Build a contact list for resources in Microsoft who will help you usher in the new system. Identify clear roles and responsibility for each Microsoft resource. Define an escalation process. Governance. Implement change management process from the day 1 of go live. Some important go live steps, activities or tasks. Usage profile is completed and reviewed by Microsoft for sizing of prod environment. Final review of the go live health checklist. User acceptance testing sign-off and confirmation that there are no go live blockers, go, no-go decision. All the tasks and lifecycle services implementation project from analysis to deploy are completed. Modifications and configurations are applied and tested on UAT environment. Software deployable packages have been uploaded to the asset library and lifecycle services. Mark package and LCS asset library as release candidates. Ensure that the gold config DB is a SQL Azure DB and ready to be moved to prod in the form of a SQL restore from a SQL Azure. Initiate prod by slipstreaming software deployable packages for development. Usually takes about 8 to 10 hours. Submit an other service request for SQL restore. Usually takes about 1 to 2 hours. To be initiated 10 hours after the initial of prod deployment. Apply any other software deployable packages to prod, if applicable, before go live. In the next section, we will discuss pro tips. Some professional tips that you need to be aware of are: engage with Microsoft from the very beginning. Leverage your Visual Studio Team Services tool for version control. Lease a 4th environment, so you will have the development environment, user acceptance testing, gold, and prod. Try to be engaged in the fast track program, your partner and Microsoft. Leverage your employees who know AX. Check AppSource for existing features. Avoid reinventing the wheel. Upgrade with extensibility model in mind. Learn the new menu structures. Thank you very much for watching the presentation today, and contact us at the numbers or locations above with any questions or concerns. Good day.